Yo, what is up, guys? It is the man in the can. It is Super Pigman here today with another video, and today we're going to be doing another video on Kenshi. But before we get all into the nitty and gritty, I just do want to explain, or tell you guys that I will explain, why I have not been uploading as much as recently this past week, and I'll do it towards the end of the video, just so we can talk about, what I'm going to talk about right now. But without further ado, let's get into the nitty and gritty of this video. So today we're going to be talking about more Kenshi. And for this type of Kenshi video, I'm going to follow more of a no script type of thing, because, I've been talking about the Hivers so much these past couple weeks that it's kind of, became stuck in my head about what I tend to always say about them and all that good stuff. But without further ado, this video is going to be about Hivers and why they are not the best people in the Kenshi lands, and why they wouldn't be the best as to take over, or why they aren't good for the people of Kenshi. So let's start with the first one, with a backstory. Now, give or take, we kind of do know everybody's backstory and their origins and where they come from, and the certain type of timestamp that they come from. But with the Hivers, that's kind of it's more argumentative of anything. If you guys know what I'm saying, some people believe that they came from, people think they came from boats, across on a different continent. Some people think that the Bugmaster made them. Some people think that the skeletons made them. So it's kind of like one of those things where you can't really prove either or, because they really did only start showing up in a short span of time. So it's the last 900 to 1000 years to present day. So it is really something hard to pinpoint, and I feel like their backstories is something that makes them not really a true successor in Kenshi, and why they are bad for the world of Kenshi. Because we give or take, we know a lot about the United Cities, we know a lot about the Holy Nation, we know a lot about the Shek Kingdom, we know a lot about the Swamp People, but we don't know a lot. We even know a lot about the Tech Hunters, which is a kind of a sub-major faction that can, kind of take over the world. But we don't know that much about the Hivers. Their backstory doesn't give us any form of relatability. All we think of them, when we think Hivers, we all think of Beeb, but we don't think of them as people that can take over the entire continent in Kenshi. But they are really malicious people, and they probably do have malicious intent. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you the first reason why I don't, or at least the second reason why I don't think these people would be as good in the Kenshi world. So stability is a main reason why I don't think that they would be a good people or a good species. Now, I don't subscribe to the idea that, there's parasites that turn them into fogmen type of thing. I think it is a general instability factor when there isn't a present figure of them being of tying them all together, and there being a leader at the top. That's what causes them to falter and start losing their minds, because they're kind of programmed what to do. And when you take a program and you take out its main source, it's just gonna go haywire. It isn't even gonna work normally anymore. So give or take, say if the UC lost their emperor, they're still gonna be stable. They might be a little bit unstable at first, but they're gonna regain their stability. And the Hivers, they don't regain any of their stability at all. They just, once their queen dies, there's no queen to succeed her, so the entire colony becomes fogmen. Now, I don't think fogmen are things from a parasite. I think fogmen are generally what happen. They go crazy because they don't know who to follow. They start losing their minds, and they start following these fog princes, and the fog princes don't even know who to follow, because the princes always answered up to the queen. So it's kind of this whole entire thing where instability really just falters the mind and deteriorates the mind of the Hivers. So I don't think them being successors, because all you have to do pretty much to the hive, if they ever take over or anything, you just have to kill their queen. That's it. All you'll have is a huge fogman problem, but that won't be a problem, because fogmen are really mindless and they're really weak. They show you what happens when you take a head figure and you remove it, that they are really dependent on, and they just become really bad. And now let's also talk about the second reason why they also might be malicious to people, and they also might not be the best successors. Let's talk about their placement on the map. Now, if you look at the map, full map, you look at the Hivers, and then you look at the Shek, and you look at where the Bugmaster is. you kind of see that the Shek are kind of this buffer zone between from the mistakes of the ancients. But anyways, that is another reason why I think they're malicious. Also, if you really look at the whole entire philosophy of the Hivers, it's doomed from the start. These people do not bring anything good for us. These people are literally like a virus. They try to get into every society. Thank God the Holy Nation doesn't let them in. The Shek don't let them in. Well, I mean, they kind of do, but they don't really let them in. The UC are kind of like forced with this resentment, like, oh man, we have to take them, and all they're doing is feeding into the poverty and everything of the problems of the main United Cities. And now let's also get into the relationship between Hivers and the Fogmen. Now, Hivers know the Fogmen exist, but the real question is, why don't they turn those Fogmen back into people, Because it's not really a far-fetched idea to, say that Hivers can't turn Fogmen back into Hivers, because if you think about the whole entire thing, the Fogmen have a parasite. If we subscribe to most people's theory, they have a parasite from being away from the queen too long, and they don't get the same pheromones. But what if you subtly bring that Fogman back in? Isn't it possible that he can become back into a Hiver? And it's kind of weird that the Hivers also know their greatest weakness, which is a lantern. Why the hell would they know what their greatest weakness is? It's like there's so many holes in the Hivers philosophy that it kind of like it gets you angry, because you don't know if these guys are good or not for the rest of humanity. And then the Holy Nation would probably even wipe them out themselves, because maybe they don't like them. They don't like anybody that's not human, and they're kind of preoccupied too. But then you think about it, why is it when the Western Hive falls, the Southern Hive suddenly gets this idea of, hey, let's go and invade everything to our west? So from everything from where they start to the west, they start conquering, because they believe that that's what they should do, since the Western Hive is dead. And that kind of shows that there's a connection between the Western Hive and the Southern Hive, because what is the Western Hive really trying to achieve? What is their main goal? You don't know what their main goal is. Like, the Western Hive, literally, you do not know what their main goal is. You don't know what they are striving for. You don't know what they are trying to do. But the Western Hive, the second they fall, the Southern Hive starts to invade to the west. So you start thinking, what was the Western Hive supposed to do if they didn't fall? Were they supposed to conquer the Holy Nation? Were they supposed to conquer the Shek Kingdom? Maybe this Southern Hive is trying to get closer to the Bugmaster. Maybe both these hives are trying to work simultaneously together through indirect contact to get to the Bugmaster, their formal creator. So, I don't think that the Hivers have the best intentions for everyone. They only care about their own personal mind goals. And let's get into another reason why, the Hivers aren't that great. Let's talk about what happens when you're not able to fit into society. So pretty much what happens is, if you do not develop a personality, then you are pretty much dead. You will lose your mind, because you cannot function in a normal Hiver society, and they will kick you out. And if they kick you out and you don't develop a personality, you become a Fogman. That's like, you become a Fogman. Like, what can you do to not become a Fogman? That you just develop your own personality. Think of Beep, for example. Beep is literally the definition of developing your own personality. So apparently developing your own personality makes you invulnerable to becoming a Fogman, because you found out a purpose in life. Now, I don't know if maybe this is like some huge thing that they're gonna throw at us in the next game, but this is kind of a video on why the Hivers aren't the best people, and why they aren't the coolest or aren't the best to the next successors of everything. But anyways, let me talk to you guys about why I haven't been uploading since it's towards the end of the video. I'm actually graduating this week, so I've not had enough time. I just had my first communion the last Saturday and I just want to say thank you guys for all the support that you guys have been showing too. It means a lot, and we are almost at 500, so we could hit that 500 mark. That would be like the best graduation gift you guys can ever give me. Anyways, hopefully you guys do enjoy. Remember to leave a like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff, and peace.